Alright, I'm going to do a quick video on how to replace spark plugs. 2013 Dodge Charger, 3.6 liter, of course a V6. You can see I've already started. I kind of wanted to get an idea of what I was getting into before I did the video. So, hey, it's actually pretty simple. Tools you need, really just a 1/4 inch ratchet, 6-inch extension, a 10 millimeter, I found a 13 millimeter comes in handy, and an 8 millimeter, possibly a small pry bar, a 13 millimeter wrench, and a pair of needle nose, and just like a pair of Nip-X pliers like these right here, or channel locks. Some of you guys have channel locks. But anyway, really the steps I took, I pulled the upper plenum off. It's sitting off to the side, and then I took off the mass airflow system, the tube that runs from the airbox over to the throttle body. You can see where it goes right there. Just a couple, I used 8 millimeter on that. You can use a flathead screwdriver if you need to. It pops right out. There's a few connectors. Basically all the connectors on the throttle body have to be unplugged. I was watching another video of a guy before I did this, because I haven't done one of these before, but I used to be a tech for a long time. I've been out of the field for quite a few years now, but sorry about that. But anyway, there's a bracket right back here. I'm going to show you this bracket. See this? Let's see. This bracket right here. So you can see the far hole. That's a 10 millimeter nut. There's another one right here. Actually, are they 10? Yeah, they're 10 millimeter nuts. There is a 13 millimeter nut at the very bottom. It's got a stud hanging off of it. Man, it's hard to see back there. But anyway, if you'll just loosen that nut, don't take that nut all the way out. That's something I think he did, but you don't have to do that. Loosen the nut up, and that'll be enough to move that bracket, which will get it off of these throttle body studs right here. Hopefully you can see that. The sun's wonky right now, but anyway, that's those studs. There's a stud there and one up top. It'll do enough just to get that bracket off of it. Be one less thing you got to fight with when you put it back together. Over here on the other side, the driver's side, try to get in here. Pretty basic over here, really. But you have these two brackets. There's one right here, and there's another one. I'm trying to find it looking through right here. Same deal here, okay? There's 13 millimeters on the very bottom. These upper ones are 10s. On the bottom, just loosen those. Don't take them all the way off. Get a wrench. The front one, you have to have a wrench. You can't get anything in there. I tried, because it's going over top of the stud. The back one, you've got part of your AC lines running right in front of it. But you can get a deep well 13 millimeter 1/4 drive socket with just the ratchet. You can get it on there, loosen that one up. Loosen the nut up, leave it on there, you know, about a couple 3 threads, and pull the bracket off. I hope you can see, man. Okay, so back in there, you'll see your AC lines down in there. Damn, I can't hardly see because the sun's crazy. But anyway, it's I call it a double nut stud. On the back side of that AC bracket, there's the other 13 millimeter that controls that stud. You can, if you leave your front nut on, slide your AC bracket or adapter piece out a little bit. Get your wrench back in behind there, and just loosen that 13 millimeter. Don't take anything all the way off, and that'll be enough to loosen this bracket right here. That will allow you to get off of your studs right there and there to flip your intake, your upper plenum out of, your upper intake out of the way. So, but anyway, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm ready to pull coil packs and then plugs. So I'll get back here in a minute. Alright, I'm back. I went ahead and just knocked it out. It's man, it's so simple. I just didn't even want to waste the time to grab the iPad or whatnot. But anyway, here's the plugs I pulled out. Man, 160,000 miles. You can tell they're shot, man. Champions. I don't know. I guess the cheapest stuff they can put in from the factory or whatnot. Anyway, NGK Iridiums now. Man, those plugs are awesome. I've road raced motorcycles before, and they never did me wrong. But anyway, silence George. We've got George playing. But anyway, where did I leave off? Coils. So yeah, coils are 8mm. Wow, they turn out pretty quick. So they're so easy to get to once you're there. So undo your coils, pull them out. I take my time, you know, pretty easy with them. So lay them to the side. Couple tools I did not mention earlier. Use an actual plug socket. I have a magnet somewhere, but man, the plug socket's 5/8, really helps out. So those two extensions right there will get it done. Plug socket though, they turn right out. You know, put them back in with the plug socket. I didn't use any air, everything's by hand. Yeah, I've never believed in putting plugs in with air, contrary to what some do at the dealership level. I know, because I used to be there. It's more about time than anything. But anyway, I put plugs in everything now. I feel like this. I've got an EMI truck sitting over there. Anybody that's ever done those, double the work. 16 plugs. But I've done plugs on 5.4 Fords. Talking about a nightmare. Yes, the ones that break and all that. But anyway, these are really easy. So I just went around, swapped them all. You know, put my caps back in, hand tighten everything. Don't over torque it, especially these upper intake 8mm. You may not even see it. It's getting dark. Sun's going down. But yeah, you can tell those are plastic on plastic. Threads are real wide, thick. They turn out really deep. So anyway, just do not over tighten those when you put it back together. But anyway, I mentioned earlier about just loosening brackets instead of pulling them all the way off. It worked great going back on. This thing fell right back together. I'm a believer in don't take off stuff if you don't have to. Maybe you'll loosen something to make something else happen. So that's what I did. All those lower brackets, the nut stayed on, and you know, I loosened them up to get to what I needed. So anyway, hey, best part is didn't break anything, didn't lose anything. So anyway, hope this will help. I've seen a couple of the other videos. I think the guys took off too much. But anyway, it's great. Everybody can, you know, these guys can do this from home. I know it saves them a penny. So anyway, y'all have a good one. Again, hopefully this helps. Take care.